I just went and hit record. I wish there was such thing as smell-o-vision, because I'm gonna cook for you guys today. It's too bad I can't actually give you the food.
Yes, that
So
would be
this week,
nice.
yeah, so this week we're gonna be talking about, or we are talking about, just kitchen hacks, food ideas, meal prep, all of that sort of stuff. And I get this a lot, and I get it, because if you don't know what you don't know, people go, "Oh my God, how does anybody with a job have time to do all this meal prep and do all this stuff?" And so today I'm going to go over how it's actually going to save you a lot of time. Like, it just seems daunting, but hopefully after today, it won't. But before I dive in and get started, I wanted to do some shout outs. I had a few here today. We have Teresa. She's down 13 pounds in her first 2 weeks. So, congratulations to Teresa. Barb is down 25 pounds. She got out of the car with no pain, and she said it was super easy to get out of the car. And apparently, that's a really big deal. It's the little things in life, right? We like, my back hurts, it's just my normal, and then when it goes away, it's like, oh my gosh, I can do this, I can do that. So just having these little things improve is definitely improving the quality of life. Deborah is down 6 pounds in her first week. Her blood pressure is down, her joint pain is down, she feels rested for the first time in a long time, she said, and her energy is up. She can't even believe how much energy she has. And this is her first week, which is extraordinary and remarkable and wonderful. But I'm just super excited for her, because if that's her first week, I can't wait to see what will happen moving forward. I've got Jennifer down 11 pounds. Mary used to hurt all over, and now she's better, and she's also sleeping better than she ever has. And Nicole is down her cholesterol. Okay, so she did some blood work, and she had some numbers in there I didn't know, but everything was going in the right direction. But the cholesterol was down 13 points. Cholesterol was down 13 points. And her triglycerides are down from 186 to 133, which is good, great. And she's down 26 pounds. And this is a woman who owns a business that is it's nights, weekends, and holidays. It's not a regular, easy business. And she's just in the process of selling it. So good for her. Because I've owned a small business, and hers is just it's all the time. So congratulations to you, Nicole. I do want to shout out some welcomes: Sarah, Julie, Brenda, Marilyn, Christy, Janet, and Lisa times two. We got two new Lisas this week. So welcome into everybody. All right, so let me go ahead and dive right in. If you want to, looks like everybody is muted, so that's good. If you want to unmute and ask a question, great. But I think it's a good idea we mute, because uh, I'm hearing people tell me the background sounds and the dogs and the background stuff is distracting. So, but again, feel free to unmute and ask a question. But I will always, of course, at the end, open it up for Q&A. All right, so I thought I'd start off with some tools. I went over this a little bit on Monday night. One of my favorite and least expensive, probably, thing is the ice cube maker. Why in the world would this be a great tool for meal prep? I'm gonna tell you. So, like today, I'm gonna be cooking with the coconut oil. I'm sorry, coconut milk, but I'm not gonna use the whole can. I'm only gonna use a third of the can in my recipe that I'm gonna show you. So rather than having to figure out how to use it in the next few days, because it doesn't last that long in the freezer or in the refrigerator, I'm going to put it into an ice cube tray. And so then I'll have little bits and pieces. So what I can do is I can pop an ice cube of the coconut milk out and throw it in my blender and with my protein shake. And now I've just made my protein shake a little bit creamier. Any kind of sauce or liquid, for that matter, that you're not using the whole jar or the whole can, throw in here. Tomorrow we're gonna make some pumpkin things, And I'm sure I'm not going to use the whole can. Why not throw them in here? And then I can use them, thaw them out as needed. And then we'll have pumpkin fall festive good stuff for the whole month of October and beyond, really, if I freeze it. So this is really handy. Another use for this too is if you buy fresh herbs like cilantro or basil or thyme or any of the fresh herbs that at the grocery store. I don't know about you, but I don't hardly ever go through the entire bunch. I get through half of it and then it kind of sits there and then it gets mushy and slimy. And then, of course, we throw it away. So this sucker will save you a heck of a lot of money. So if I know I'm not going to have any more cilantro this week, I've kind of had my fill of it. I'm going to go ahead and cut it up, put it in the ice cube trays, and I'll top it with a little avocado oil or olive oil or some kind of oil just to kind of seal it in and then freeze it. And then I can pop it out as needed. And I still have that fresh basil or cilantro or whatever it is, and just throw it in the frying pan and then cook it. So this is a really money saver. And that way you always have it. So you always have at your disposal a little bit of the leftover sauce, leftover in a coconut milk, pumpkin, herbs, whatever you choose to put in there. So that's a must-have tool. My next favorite thing is my mandolin. And this is what I use. And they have different size of choppers. So this is what I cut my onions, my bell peppers, my celery, carrots, any vegetables that I have left over that I'm not going to eat fresh. I'll chop them up and I'll freeze them. But you can kind of pick your size. I usually do the smaller one for my onions because I often throw a handful of those onions in a frying pan in the morning and then throw in some scrambled eggs. And now I have eggs and onions. And it just smells so good. And it makes you guys, I want you guys to love this lifestyle. And when I smell those cooking onions in the morning, and all I had to do was take a handful out of the baggie and throw it in the frying pan, it makes the whole house smell wonderful. It's so easy and it makes my food taste good. Also, so you just put that in there. And I put my whatever in, my onion, my bell pepper, smack it down, put another piece, smack it down, put another piece, smack it down. And within just a couple of minutes, the entire onion is cut, or the entire bell pepper is cut, or the entire thing of celery is cut. What it takes is like this. I have my red bell peppers, my green bell peppers. I mixed it up a little bit. These ones I made a little bit larger. Instead of using just one stalk of, the celery, if your recipe calls for a little celery, and then you put the rest in the fridge, and then 3 weeks later you throw it out. Next time, just get your little mandolin, chop it up, and now I always have immediately chopped celery for my recipe. Onions, same thing. Looks like I'm getting low, so I know what I'll be doing this weekend. But I typically do my meal prep on Sunday. And if all I do is chop my vegetables, I'm good to go because that makes starting any recipe is, for me in my household. These are kind of some basics, staples that I start any recipe with. At least onions, but often bell peppers. I might want to do zucchini. That's another staple for me. I put that in a lot of my recipes. It can go in my chili or in my Italian spaghetti stuff.
And Tami, you freeze all of those, right?
Pardon me?
All of those items you freeze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of those vegetables I just wouldn't
Yeah.
have thought of freezing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of people say, well, they can buy them already cut. Knock yourself out, do that. But it goes so fast. And I tell you what, it seems to me, and this is why I stopped doing it, because I used to just buy pre-cut onions. It was in a bag. It was mixed onions and bell peppers, which is fine with me. I pretty much always use those anyway. But I spend 10 minutes looking for the bag in the freezer section. I could have got it for cheaper, done it myself. I could cut it to the size I want to cut it to, and it's done, and I'm already home.
And it's fresher too.
Yeah, I mean, well, let me dispel a little myth. Actually, someone's saying, "Oh, Shannon, chopping a big bag of veggies on Sundays is a game changer." And freeze some. Yeah, keep some out for your week and then freeze the rest, Shannon. That's great. Um, oh, what was I just going to say? Oh, dispelling a myth. The most nutritious vegetables you can eat are the ones that are frozen, that you buy frozen. And the reason I say that is if you think about if you were to get broccoli from the grocery store fresh, it's been sitting on a truck for 2 days, and then it goes to the grocery store, it sits on their shelf for 2 days, and then you buy it, it sits in your refrigerator for 2 days. So by the time it goes into your belly, it's been picked for over a week. So it starts to lose its aliveness. And as the older it gets, the less nutrition it has. It starts to die off. Whereas frozen vegetables, and I'm thinking like Green Giant or something like that, they have their special farms. They cut the vegetable and they immediately freeze it. So it's frozen with all of those nutrients still intact. So the truth is really most vegetables um, are actually more nutritious frozen. But the ones that these are just, I bought them, I cut them, I froze them, I kept some out, I put them, but it really does make my evening time better and easier. So at night when I go to put in a piece of fish in the frying pan, I already have the onions cut or the bell peppers, or if I'm going to do a different vegetable and I have all those cut, it's already done. So it really does cut my time. And trust and believe, those bags, I do that maybe every month, maybe every 6 weeks. So, and if you just take the time to do bell peppers, onions, celery, and whatever your basics are, it it won't even take you 15 minutes, and that includes time to wash this mandolin. It doesn't take that long at all. You do have to cut your onion in smaller pieces so it fits, but I think that whole process, 15, 20 minutes, and that's it for 6 weeks, and now you have it at your disposal. So I can't stress upon you guys enough how helpful that has become. And now I won't let myself be out of those things because I do not, at the end of the day, want to come home and pull out my cutting board. I just don't want to do it. Actually, I work from home, so I'm so blessed. But I still don't want to walk out of my office and walk in here and start cutting. I just don't want to do it. There's somebody in the chat saying something. Let's see. Yes, flash frozen is best. Same with seafood. Yes, I just joined a seafood company for the first time. I can't wait. It's due to show up any day now. So I'll let you guys know how that is. All right, some other tools that are really important. You want to get yourself some popsicle molds. I do like this material. But the fact that it's wide open and it sits open in the freezer, if I don't pop these out as soon as they're frozen, um, they taste like the freezer. So I would get the deep ones that are more covered, and then you can just have them as you want them. But these are easy. You just get it comes with popsicle sticks. You pop it in, you pour in your protein shake or whatever you're making it with, and have that. But those are a nice, sweet, neat to eat snack. Another tool that's really super helpful, these things get taller if you need it. But these bags, what I use for my, so let someone here. The bags is what I use to make my chopped onions and bell peppers and everything. This just makes it easier to just take the cutting board and scoop it in. Or if you're making a big batch of like stew or soup or uh, chili or something like that, and you want to, and never make just enough for once. Make a big bunch because you're going to wash the same amount of dishes. So again, you're saving time if you just double the recipe. It'll take you a few extra minutes to cut that much, but make it extra because it's so nice to open up that freezer and pull out something that all you got to do is defrost and heat. So much easier. So you can put your food, your stews and your soups or whatever in these baggies. Now, some
Where'd you
people
get that
don't.
tool? I'm sorry, where'd you get that tool?
Online.
And
What
what's
were
it
they
called?
called? What were they called? Baggy. what was it called? What was my order? um, oh, there it is. My orders. Baggy holders, orders. Oh, freezer bag holder stand. And it was for two of them, it was $6. And it's just,
Oh,
it makes
great.
your life easier. You know what? For $6, do it. This
Yes,
mandolin,
thank you.
though, the mandolin, I'm telling you, was worth, well, it was a gift, actually, from Dr. and from Tina, believe it or not. Another thing this mandolin does is it shreds and it slices. And I use shredded zucchini as a substitute for breadcrumbs in my meatballs or turkey meatballs. But yeah, the Ziploc, what was it called again? Where'd it go? Freezer bag holder stand. And again, they're adjustable. So if you have a smaller bag or a bigger bag, and if you have a bigger bag, you can put the bag over the clips if you need to. But anyways, that's super handy. I love my little waffle maker. I make the protein waffle out of it, which is just a scoop of protein powder and one egg. And that's pretty much it. If you don't like using plastic, a lot of people go, I don't want to use plastic. Well, you're not wrong. There's plastic. We've been drinking out of plastic for many, many, many years. Everything comes in plastic. They say the chemicals in the plastic leaches into the food. So if you can get yourself your glass containers, that is going to be better than the plastic baggies, but baby steps, you guys. I just want you to start getting healthy. We'll dial it up and go from plastic to glass kind of later on. I just want you to get started, get going, get your healthy stuff started. All right, so that's kind of the tools I think I had. Oh, and then oops, my submersion blender. This is great for making my salad dressings. I just make them in here. There's a little blade in there, and then it goes like this, and then you just make your salad dressing. I had some butternut squash yesterday, the day before, and I had baked it, but then I used my submergent blender and pureed it, and it was like kind of like a mashed potato texture, and it was comfort food. It was so delicious, and all I added was salt and pepper and ghee. I think that's all I added, and it turned out, and it ate it like well, like a mashed potato. It was just absolutely delicious. And that's a carb. So you want to stay in a half cup. But my gosh, you guys, I swear it was comfort food. It was so hearty and good and filling and super easy. The hardest part is cutting that darn thing in half. Then you bake it and do whatever you're going to do with it. So as far as meal prepping goes, or meal planning, the first thing you want to do is go through your freezer, your refrigerator, and your pantry. So for example, I look in my freezer and I see that I do have some ground turkey. Well, because always, 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 if ground turkey, if you're like me, ground turkey is very much a staple here. I make it probably at least twice a month for my week. So 2 out of 4 weeks a month, I'm eating something with ground turkey, most likely. Um, so I have ground turkey. I also noticed that I have the spaghetti sauce, the simple truth, organic, no sugar added spaghetti sauce. I also checked in my freezer. I have onions, I have bell peppers. So I'm starting to think, okay, well, what could I do with all those things? Sounds to me like I got what I call Italian stew, the startings of ready to go. So then I would ask myself, what else do I need to make that complete? So for me personally, I would add zucchini and mushrooms to that. So that's the only thing I need to buy. So I'm actually saving myself money if I've already bought a couple of these because they were on sale. That way you have them when you come in and take your inventory and you see you have one or two left, and it goes with something that you know, you get to your standards and your go-tos. That's a go-to for me. Um, so then you start to see what you already have and what can I make? You know, what can you make with what you already have? So you don't have to spend a bunch more money at the grocery store and come home and find out, oh, I already have that. Oh, I already have that. How many times have we done that, right? So taking that inventory first. Um, so there's that. Some must-haves. Another thing that I would always like to see you keep in your cabinet is the enchilada sauce. And I like Siete because the other enchilada sauces, they all have soybean oil in them. So, and what I like this, so if I'm going through my cabinet and I see I have the Siete sauce, I have some chicken or I have some ground turkey, I know I have the bell peppers and the onions. To me, that's the start of what I call enchilada stew. And this is just going to add all the flavor. I don't really have to cook anything other than I saute my bell peppers and onions and the celery. I would add celery to that, which as you know, I already have already chopped. So as long as it would take to cook the celery and onions, you just take them frozen, put them in the frying pan, and then saute those. Add your ground turkey, make sure that's cooked, add this, and you've got dinner for at least 4 meals. That would make 4 meals. Well, at least a pound of ground turkey is 4 servings of protein anyway. So having stuff like this super handy is going to help you. Always, always, always. I will never be without fish, and I get the individually wrapped pieces, frozen in the freezer, frozen chicken, either chicken breast or chicken thighs. I like both. I eat both. Turkey burgers, those are nice in a pinch. And then also on the other side where I keep all my veggies, I always want to have some kind of frozen veggies. Now I also buy the big container of fresh spinach. And again, I freeze that too, guys. This makes life so easy. So easy. So I take my big container of fresh organic spinach. I keep half of it out and I use it for salad. The rest I put in a bag and I freeze it. And then you squish it when you're ready to use it. And then you just sprinkle in it a little bit in your pan. And what I primarily use this for is my eggs in the morning. So it's already squished, so it's already chopped. Nobody had to chop anything. It's that easy. So I throw it in the pan, I put my cooking spray. This is a must-have as well. Never be without your cooking spray. I like avocado better than olive oil, better for cooking. And I like it better than coconut oil because coconut oil tends to clog. Um, but anyway, throw this in the pan after I've sprayed it, and then just throw my scrambled eggs on top of it. And now I have spinach and egg. It's a great, 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 easy way to add vegetables to your day and to your meal. People say, I don't want to eat vegetables at breakfast. But yeah, if it's already done, literally already done. You don't have to do anything. By the time it gets in the pan and you turn the fire on, it's already cooking. It doesn't take 1 minute longer, not 1 minute. All right. All right. So I am going to also staple your canned wild caught tuna or your canned chicken. Those always have those as a backup plan. If you always have proteins and veggies as a backup, either in the freezer or canned like this, you'll always have it because someone else in the house might eat it. Or maybe it went bad, or maybe you thought you had it and then you forgot you did eat it. All right, so now I'm going to cook a little lunch for you today. And we are going to have like a vodka sauce. And I'm not going to put any vodka in it. Can you guys see my stove? All right, so what I've done is I've browned the turkey. So of course today I did not have to chop any bell peppers or onions. I just have red and green bell peppers in here. And I did garlic. I buy the garlic already chopped. And I've already drained it. You want to drain it because that's the saturated fat. So what I'm gonna do. Oh. So this is great. If you're like me, you can't open a jar. There it is. All right, so I'm gonna throw that in. So that's just the spaghetti sauce. I have a can of coconut milk. I'm just going to use about a third of a can. I'm going to mix that up as good as I can here. And I also have some sun-dried tomatoes, just because that's what I like, which has some good olive oil in it. And just start to stir that up, mix it up. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys this. This is heavy. All right. I don't know if you can see that. Shoot. It's going to spill out if I tip it anymore. Can you guys see that? Well, I've never tried the fettuccine noodles. I've tried the spaghetti. I don't think it would taste any different. It's just a different size. But I got to open that up. Now it's already cooked. So all I've got to do is open the bag. And I'm going to drain it before I put it in. All right. I'm going to have to put this on a dinner plate because you guys have to see this. How long did that take me? Did you guys time me? Now I did brown the ground turkey and the onions and bell peppers first, just because I'm live here today, but that's how fast a delicious dinner can be. And this is at least, I would say 4 or 5 meals. 4 or 5 meals. Okay. That looks really good. I'm going to have to bring you to the food. How about that? Can you see that? So it's a creamy tomato sauce. I've already added some salt and pepper, some Italian seasoning, and I may add some cayenne just for a kick. Let me turn that off. Nothing needs to be cooked. It's just warming. Oh, I can't wait. All right, so I wanted to do this live with you guys. So you saw what I just did basically. So I had a pound of ground turkey. I just took a handful of my onions and bell peppers, so I don't measure that. I had one jar of spaghetti sauce. I used a third of a can of coconut milk. I did a couple of tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes, which had some olive oil in it. And that's pretty much it. So what I did, so you might be going, well, how do I figure out the calories for all of that? So I figured it out for you. So I want to show you how I did that. And that is, okay, so I figured out the noodles for that whole container was 9 calories. Those It's Skinny noodles are just so fun and fabulous, and they're free practically. So only 9 calories. The sauce, the spaghetti sauce, the whole jar was 420 calories. Turkey came in at 924 calories. The vegetables, the onions, bell peppers, I kind of guesstimated around 50 calories. The sun-dried tomatoes, on the jar, it said it was 140 calories for 2 tablespoons. And that's high because of the olive oil, I'm sure. And I used a third of a can of the coconut milk, which I calculated to be 200 calories. So that adds up to 1743 for that entire container or for that entire dish. So if I divide that by four, if I only eat 4 meals with all of that food, which I would probably eat that 5 times, it comes out to about 435 calories per meal if I did four. Now, if I look at that and go, there's no way I can eat that 4 times. It's too much. I would probably eat it five. So I would take 1743 and just divide it by five, and that would be my calories. I hope that helps. Hope that was helpful for you. Um, who has questions? Oh, someone said cool the food down before putting in the bag. That is a great, fabulous tip. If I have this hot thing, I don't want to immediately put it in this for sure. Then you're really going to get those chemicals leaching into your plastic, and it could melt the plastic if it's hot enough. So that was a very good tip. Thank you for sharing that, Juliet. Does anybody have any other thoughts about that? Oh, and if you wanted Parmesan cheese, a substitution for that would be nutritional yeast. So nutritional yeast, some people don't like it, some people do like it, but it's supposed to be a good Parmesan cheese substitute.
Question, Tammy, about the nutritional yeast. Um, if you have an overgrowth of yeast already in your body, like Candida, would you want to add yeast to your diet?
That's a great question. And the truth is, I don't really know. I know nutritional yeast is just packed with B vitamins. So I don't know. I'm going to
That
have to
sounds
get back to you
great.
on that. That's a great question. You did it. You stumped me. Let me write that down. Nutritional yeast, cause more yeast. Great
But yeah,
question.
the vitamin B sounds very attractive.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they say nutritional yeast is a good thing to add to your diet if you're a vegan or vegetarian because you're missing out on a lot of those B vitamins, especially like 12, B12. Um, I haven't tried it yet, the nutritional yeast, but some people don't like it. And so I'm afraid to buy it if it's not going to be good. So
Yeah.
if
I,
anybody else
I've
has tried it, let me know.
I've tried it. I've gone to a friend's house, and what she does, she sprinkles it over popcorn, and of course, popcorn is, I'm sure, not on the food list, but it tasted delicious.
Okay, see, so you liked it. Um, I've heard of people putting it on popcorn, so that makes sense. Very good. Thank you for the share. What other staples?
Hey, Tammy, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
My internet cut out a little earlier when you were talking about the popsicle mold. And so I was wondering, would you be able to flash that again or talk about where you found it or what makes yours special?
The popsicle mold?
Yeah.
Well, it's a silicone material, which makes it easy to pop them out. So you just pop them out. You don't have to like defrost it. Someone else was telling me they made popsicles and they had to like let it sit out, and all of them are starting to melt when they just want to take one out. But this one, it pops out pretty easily. And then you just put your popsicle stick in, pour your liquid in over it, whatever you're making, and then freeze it. The problem with this particular kind, because it's open, unless you've set a timer for 2 hours or however long it takes to freeze, and you pull each one of these things out and then you put them in a baggie and seal them. The problem with this is it tastes like the freezer. It just gets
Good
that
point.
freezer taste. So you've got to cover it up. Now, if you can find something that has a lid on it, then you're golden. You don't have to set the timer or worry about it. Because I'll make these things and forget about it. 3 days later, I'm like, oh yeah, I've made those popsicles. Let me have one. And then they taste like the freezer.
That's a
So
really good point. Thank you for pointing that out.
yeah. And as far as like this ice cube tray, I'm going to pour the rest of my coconut milk that I did not use. Actually, I can do it right now into these little squares and then just use as needed. So if I want to make popsicles later or tomorrow or next week, oh, it's going to fill up the whole thing. Wow, it's a lot. I can just pop out a couple of these, put it in the blender, and now I have a creamier shake or whatever it is I'm making. If I'm making another one of those. Also, the coconut milk does come in a light version. It's so creamy though, you guys. It's very calorie dense. It's not low calorie by any stretch of the imagination. But the light is not as thick and creamy. This really can substitute as a cream. I've made chicken curry with this cream, well, coconut cream, and it came out thick and delicious and creamy. I made like an Alfredo sauce with this, and it came out pretty good. Just adding my stuff in my noodles came out pretty good. What else? Oh, let's go over some snack ideas. Well, Dr. Infantino doesn't recommend you do the protein bars on a regular basis, but if you're a golfer and you're doing 18 holes, or you're traveling, or you're in a car ride, or you're going through the airport, or you're in a long meeting or something like that, the protein bars that he recommends are the Epic Bar, the Dang Bar, and the Kirkland. Turkey jerky, no sugar added. And if it doesn't say no sugar added, just know it has sugar in it. Just know that almost all of them do. And if they don't, they say no sugar added. There's packaged olives, the Mario brand, and just Google that or go to Amazon. There's also packaged artichoke hearts, which I've seen that are designed for travel. So those are good. Hard-boiled eggs, those are nice. Deviled eggs are a good snack. You can buy the holy guacamole in individual little things and then just dip your veggies in that. That's an easy way, an easy thing you can do on Veggie Day. An apple with nut butter. Navita's Power Snacks. You want to check your ingredients on those, but those are a nice little snack on occasion. They do have sugar. It's made with mostly date paste, but it is still a sugar, so it's once in a while. You can do salad on a stick, where it's basically a vegetable skewer. And you could put a piece of chicken and then some lettuce and then a cherry tomato and then a piece of carrot or something like that. Salad on a stick is fun, or salad in a jar. And if you're doing salad in a jar, you just put your dressing at the bottom. And then when you're ready for it, turn it upside down and let the dressing drip over. Planters Nutrition, Nutrition. Cans of the packets of tuna. I came home last night. I was hungry, and I just made myself a small can. That's why it's opened. I had one of these last night with the approved salad dressing, not salad dressing, with the approved mayo, and it's a nice protein, healthy fat snack, and it was very satisfying. It's very, very, very filling. So if you're low on protein, that's a great snack. Another snack is you take some cooked chicken, and you can do like the canned chicken if you want, or if you just have cooked chicken, chop it up, mix it with a little bit of buffalo sauce, and put it on a celery stick, and that makes a really fun snack. You could put it on a cucumber as well. Cucumbers and celery works for any kind of good topping. It would work for that tuna as well. What else? Anybody else have any other ideas? Oh, cauliflower rice. That's a good substitute. I keep that in my fridge at all times. And you can turn around and make a fried rice out of that, and it doesn't take 5 minutes. It's already riced, cauliflower. Put it in the frying pan, with a little garlic and salt. I add a little frozen peas and carrots, so it looks like fried rice. And then I cook it for about a minute, and I add a raw egg, make it stir that up so you have that scrambled egg in there. And then at the very end, you add some Bragg's aminos as your soy sauce substitute, and now you have fried rice. It's less than 5 minutes for that whole side dish. Or if you had diced chicken already, now you have chicken fried rice. Or shrimp, now you have shrimp fried rice. Those are some easy go-tos. So never be without your rice cauliflower.
What's the name of that approved mayo again?
I have the Chosen Foods. I think Primal Kitchen also has one. And this I found at
Thank you.
Costco. I mean, gosh, at the regular store, I saw it for $16, but this was under 10. And this one is the 32 ounce. And it's good.
Oh, good deal. I'll try
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And someone else was talking the other day how easy it is to make mayo, and you can make it with your own ingredients. In
I'll
fact,
get
she
the
even said,
jar.
yeah, yeah, if you don't want to make it. That's another thing. That would be another tool. That reminds me. Sometimes I save my little bottles because it's glass. And if I'm going to make my own salad dressing, I save these and I put this through the dishwasher and everything. But now if I make my own, I have something to put it in and it doesn't take up a lot of room in my fridge. So save these. That's another
Yeah,
kitchen
good
tip.
point.
Yeah, just run it through the dishwasher and now you have, you might wash that off. I don't care. I'll know what it is. I live by myself, so I'm fine. Anyway.
Hey, Tam,
another-
this is Juliet. What I do a lot of times is I'll have a small jar and I'll put olive oil and then use lemon juice and then one whole clove of garlic just in it, and then herbs and everything, and then when you're ready to use it, you shake it, and that whole clove helps to stir it up. So that's where you have your dressing.
Oh, wow. That's cool. The whole garlic clove is not chopped?
Right, just one piece of the bulb, and I just put one in. Don't chop it up, and just use it as a way of stirring your dressing.
I see what you mean.
Good.
Oh, that is cool. Like a shaker, like those balls you see in the protein shakers.
Exactly.
It's a mixer. Oh my God, that's a brilliant idea. That is brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, that's brilliant. I love it. I get it. I wasn't understanding you. That's great.
Right, and if you want to the garlic to leach a little bit more flavor, you can make a little cut in it, but don't chop it all up, and there you have it.
Yeah, either way. Well, you could do both. You could chop some up, but then put that whole one in there to help mix it up.
Yeah.
That would, oh my gosh, I love that. I'm gonna do that because I do love garlic. I do love the garlic.
Well, you're Italian.
I am. How could you tell? Because I'm always talking with my hands. How do you shut Tami up? You tie your hands behind her back. All right. Anybody have any other questions or concerns? Or it doesn't have to be on kitchen hacks.
So, Tami, I have limited resources. I live on an island in the Bering Sea, and we have two grocery stores and we have limited products. So I'll have to order some things, but I think I'm gonna do a lot of my own, like making my own mayo probably. But I think I'm gonna use a lot of fresh vegetables, and yes, the cans have the protein or the calorie values on them, but I think I'm gonna do a lot of fresh vegetables because I just love fresh vegetables.
That's good.
How am I going to count calories on that?
Um, so like if I have 2 cups, I'm not sure your question. So, but I'm going to try to think I answer it. If I
Basically,
have
how
2
hungry
cups
do
of
I?
broccoli, I go to Google and say, how many calories in 2 cups of broccoli? And she'll tell me. But if I'm having broccoli and carrots and this and that, I can even say how many calories in a 2 cups of mixed vegetables. What is
Yeah,
your question? Is that?
yeah. So counting calories, how am I going to count calories on fresh vegetables?
Yeah, just ask Google. So
Okay, okay, good deal.
now on page 101 in the book, you will have calorie counts for a lot of the things. But if you're measuring it by the cup and it says 4 ounces, you're like, yeah, but how many ounces is in a cup of chopped? Wait, what? So if I go to Google and if I have 4 ounces of chicken, or if I have a cup of ground chicken, that the answer may not be in 101 in the book, but Google has all that. So if you're
Thank
having,
you.
like if I do for a salad, so if I go, how many calories in 3 cups of chopped romaine? And then I put, a handful of shredded carrots on there. So I would, how many calories in an eighth a cup, kind of guesstimate. You might, in salad, I would say in a vegetable salad, how many calories we can, practice and see what numbers come up and get the most common answers. That's probably going to be the closest. It's not brain surgery where it has to be done exactly right or you die. If I just need to know you're eating enough, but I'd bet about 80% of my customers, clients, patients, whatever, are not getting enough calories. It's a struggle for them to get enough. And that's the only thing I'm looking for. Is she getting enough? Couple of people, and I'm one of them, I'm an overeater. So I have to calm down on the calories. Like, some of you guys are going to be looking, how can I eat more calories? I'm full, I'm full, I'm full. Well, you can add your salad dressings. You can use the coconut milk. You can add avocado. You can dip in guacamole. You can cook your food in the approved oils. You can put butter on your food. So there's ways to make sure you're getting enough protein at each meal. That's going to be super important and helpful. To get enough calories. So if you're getting 4 to 5 ounces of protein at each of your meals, and you're getting at least a good serving of healthy fat, you should be okay. Hopefully I answered that. All right, I'm going to go eat my lunch. Does anybody have any questions? Or other?
Thank you, Tiffany.
Shannon said she uses a chronometer. What is a chronometer? I don't know what that is.
It's a food tracker. So it's an app that you can put on your
Oh,
phone or your computer, and it pulls from Google all those nutritionals of every single food that you can think of. Fresh veggies, packaged foods, everything. So, and then it keeps a log or a history of it. So, Juliet, you might want to consider something like that too, because then you wouldn't have to look it up every single time or keep a bunch of written notes. It would just like keep it in the log for you, and it's totally free.
Thank you.
that's
I saw that.
awesome. I love that.
Yeah, my sister uses a different one called MyFitnessPal,
Yep,
but
yep.
I use Chronometer, and they do the same thing. It's just more about like which one appeals to you more, you know?
Yeah, the Fitness Pal, I've got a lot of clients doing that. And sometimes they'll just send me screenshots of that. I'm good with that because I can see now how much protein, how many calories, how many
Exactly.
fats, how many, all the things. So the macros
Yeah.
are broken down for me. I don't have to do much thinking. I'm just looking for the things that that I'm looking for, and it gives
Yep.
it to me right there. So
I like
thank you
that
for
too,
that.
because then we don't have to do the math.
That's right. That's right. I love that. Awesome. Anybody else? That was a good tip. I like that.
Yes, so definitely a good tip.
Yeah.
There. Well, thank you, Tami.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about sweets.
Oh, perfect. I need that.
Just to entice you.
Thank you, Tami.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.